From which
Anything else at the beginning?
Thank you, my dear. How are you? Well done.
Has been comment online.
When you've got a terminal illness, there's not that much to be happy about. You don't tend to have things to look forward to. And I found that parkrun was giving me structure back in my life. When I didn't work anymore, every day was Groundhog Day, but all of a sudden Saturday was parkrun day. Parkrun is very important to me, and I'm there every week. I was born in London, a place called Holborn, where Arsenal play football. I was actually sent to an approved school where all the naughty boys got sent, and then someone there heard of an apprenticeship being offered, and they asked who out of us wanted to learn marquetry, and they said it was a dying trade. It would probably never be needed again. As soon as I heard dying trade, I put my hand up, so I got taught how to do it. I actually got employed as a marquetry specialist, making super yachts, and that was pretty flash, because marquetry is what makes a bit of furniture look special. Well, this is what marquetry looks like. This is about 300 or 400 hours worth of work. I did it when I lived in Denmark. In this picture, I think there's probably 70 or 80 different types of veneer. It's all cut out with a scalpel and then joined edge to edge. I came to Australia in 2001. I had travelled around most of Europe, run out of countries, decided to come to Australia. Earning good money, as tradesmen do, and playing loads of golf, because I could afford to. It was through my golf that I actually changed to a different club, and that club was quite a bit hilly, and then I began to limp quite a bit. That led on to going to the doctor about it. After months of testing, they came back and said that I had motor neuron disease. Motor neuron disease is a disease that affects the nervous system and the muscles of the human body. They basically don't get the information from the brain anymore, and then they waste away. And then when they waste away, you slowly lose the ability to move, to speak, to swallow, and eventually to breathe. When I did tell someone I had MND, there was one of two reactions. One would be, what's that? Then you have to go through the explaining process. And the other one is you get the look of horror from people. They would know what MND is, and they're going to know what your journey is. And they can't help it, but they give you that look of horror. And that's not easy to take. I wanted to change that by raising MND awareness. Together with a friend, we came up with the idea of trying to do the Gold Coast Marathon. And we could raise awareness that way, that they would push me in a wheelchair. And we made a big statement doing a marathon in a wheelchair. As part of our marathon training, we decided that we needed to get used to running in a crowd. So one of the girls that was pushing me, she was into parkrun. Never heard of parkrun, but she said it would be a good way to get used to running in a crowd. So we rocked up at parkrun, and I was the only one there in a wheelchair, so we made a bit of a statement that way. At the end of the day, there was a lot of high fives going along, and it was a great atmosphere. I really enjoyed it. That was the fun side of training for a marathon. I'd met a lot of people over the time at parkrun, so I decided to give scanning a go, and scanning was really good. I really enjoyed that, and I'm really crap at remembering people's names. Doesn't matter how many times I say it, I don't remember it. But when you barcode scan, their name is on their barcode, so I could see the name and put a face to it. Another thing I discovered at parkrun was that when you're doing scanning and the walkers and the runners, they come in, if they've had a good run, they're excited, they're pumped up. That mother of two that only runs or walks once a week or doesn't even get out and uses parkrun as her exercise, when she crosses the line, she's pumped up. Or even the people that have walked it, doesn't matter. They're pumped up and they're excited. And when they would come to the barcode table, I would feel that excitement coming off, and it would be rubbing off on me, and I'd leave parkrun pumped up and excited. It was that atmosphere that I was taking away with me every day, and that's addictive.
People, I reckon, would always think I'm Pat's carer,
Because every time we're there, there's always those carer groups with, different people, young and old, in chairs, not in chairs. And
I don't know about you, but my family know that Mondays is a Pat Day now.
yeah, Friday in my phone, walk with Pat. It's a recurring event in my calendar.
The concept of Pat's Angels started after the Gold Coast Marathon that Pat did, and it was looking for a way forward as to how we could create awareness. There was a group of ladies at Parkrun that had agreed then that, we'd push you, Pat, and that's what we did. So there was 3 of us to start with, myself, Belinda and Jen, and it grew from there because it got difficult, the 3 of us just taking turns pushing Pat in the wheelchair. There are 6 angels now.
My name is Michael Kane.
The jumpers came about from when we would do our walks with Pat, or the first set of every month, and it used to be cold, so we used to just be this mismatch of jumpers and attire, sometimes with the singlet over the top or the shirt over the top, but something we just never meshed. So we sort of did this ourselves with the help of M&D and Me Foundation.
And we would then go and explore other parkruns to really spread the awareness to other people about MND, because it wasn't a well-known disorder or disease. And it was surprising, wasn't it, when we would go to these parkruns and people would, they'd have a relationship with someone that they knew of or who had had MND.
Yeah, I'd been diagnosed about 6 years with MND, and Rhiannon kept asking me if I wanted to go to an art class with her that was being held at her church. After a few classes, I really started to get into it, and then we were there every single week, having a good laugh, disrupting the class. You knew where we were for the laughing, and when I do art, it's a good sort of therapy. You can tend to forget your worries and concentrate on the actual job at hand. At the art class, we were told we could do a different project, or whatever project we wanted. So I said to the teacher that I had this vision of some sort of inquisitive animal breaking through the paperwork from one side to the other, and she thought that was a bit of a strange thing to come up with. And she said to me, "Well, you just run with that, Pat." And this is the picture I came up with. And then when I brought it in, she was quite surprised, and she said, "You should get that framed." Yeah, I did quite a few pieces of artwork that came out quite good, and some of them were auctioned off for the M&D Foundation.
Because with my background as an OT, I was familiar with MND. I'd had clients with MND. I knew potentially what the journey could involve. So it was a bit of a debrief session. Sometimes it got deep and heavy, other times it was a bit of a giggle, and it just evolved from there, really. We still continue to have coffee because now Pat's got me addicted to it, so we have to meet on a Monday.
I didn't really have an opinion of what it is. I just looked at Pat and how I met him and his journey, and he's still on that journey. It has ups and downs. You can tell when he's cranky sometimes, and you just go with it and try and make him laugh as another distraction.
When I got diagnosed with MND, one of the statistics they said was that for every one person diagnosed, it would affect 50 people around them on average. And I was a self-employed tradesman that had only just come to the country, and I was pretty confident that there was one statistic that I was not going to adhere to. But then I joined Parkrun, and now, because of the amount of people that I've met at Parkrun, it's going to affect hundreds of people. And that saddens me, because, as I said, I don't want my disease to affect others. And it's a bit weird, because raising awareness is one thing, but when it affects your friends, it's different. And Parkrun has become one big family for me now.
Pat, you are an absolute legend, and we are truly thankful for everything that you give to our parkrun here at Logan River. We really do appreciate you, and we are excited to celebrate this amazing achievement with you. We actually have Pat's 250 volunteer shirt to present to him.
Well done, Pat.
That's good.
Good job. Merry Christmas.
Very good.
I don't like being put on the spot. I really don't. And they made a point of putting me on the spot. They'd even made a little Facebook group, and it was called Shush Don't Tell Pat Group. and they discussed what they were going to do for today, you know, about me and not to me. To reach the 250 volunteer milestone was a milestone I didn't think I was ever going to get to. It's a very small elite club, and I like being part of that club. I think parkrun is important in many different ways, and to be part of parkrun every single Saturday is just special.